Okay, so in this video what we're going to learn about is basically putting things together. Is once you have stuff made, how do you put them in the holes and how do they stay? Because right now if I look at this, I can move this part and these different ones. So what I'm going to do is see right here, I might right click, and the reason I'm right clicking because it's highlighting this one right here. And I'm going to again right click and I'm going to go fix. So what does that do is now I can't move it. I can still move these, but this is fixed in that position exactly where I want it to be. And you can see it there, it says part is fixed. If you ever want to take it off, you just right click and go on fix. Alright, so what we're going to learn about today is mating. Okay, I know it's a weird word, but that's what you do is you mate two objects, you put them together. So up here we have different things. This is called mate connector. So you can create your own, or they have some here. They have fasten, they have revolute, slider, planar, cylindrical, pin and slot, ball, and then parallel mate. And then tangent. I've never used the tangent one yet. But anyway, so what do these different things do? Well, when you look at these, for example, what I'm going to do is I might pick what we call the slider mate. Okay, so if I click slider, it's going to bring me up here and it's going to say mate connectors. Well, I have to basically tell this thing where do I want it to go. So, for example, you can see all these little white things that show up like that. Those are showing me the different areas where I can put this mate connector. And I'll kind of zoom in here so we can see a little bit better. A lot of times if you hold the shift, it'll bring it up without taking them away, so it's a lot easier. So for example, if I click that, it's going to mate or put the object right with that corner of it. Well, of course we don't want that. We want it to be right here in the middle. And so right here I'm going to click, and you can see right there it says mate connector 1. So once I have that one, I'm going to go over here and choose. Now I can choose different parts of this, and you can kind of see them all. If I hold shift like this, for example, let's see where that I clicked on there, and let's see how it looks. Now you can see you're like, wait, that didn't work. Right, because I clicked the corner of it. Okay, so if I was going to do this again, all right, I just want to show you if I do it wrong what happens. So you can see under mate features there's nothing, I didn't save it, so let's try it again. Slider. So I'm going to click, I want that right here, I'm going to click on it to match up with this. And for example, I want to get it straight. So you can see sometimes it can take a little work. Oh, I swear sometimes. There we go, right there. Boom. Now, sometimes it just takes a little work to get it where you want it. Okay, so I'm rolling the mouse ball in, so you can see there it is. Now, if you're like, I don't know if that's right. Well, there's two different things you can do here. You can we can flip it. We can do different things. Like here, you could choose one of the different ones and see how that changes. You're like, well, I'm going to go over here and hit play. Well, that looks about right. Okay, as again, it's going to stay all the way with that plane. If it wasn't right, you can always sit here and rotate these, whatever XYZ plane you have. So, and that doesn't change anything. Here, this is flipping the primary axis. So like that, for example, just does that. So, I mean, either one works just fine. So if you're looking at this and you're like, well, I'm not sure if that works, you could change this to cylindrical, and now see the difference. See how it rotates? So that's what all these different mates do. We'll just leave it on slider. Once I have that, everything looks good. Boom. So now, if I go over to this thing, okay, I have the slider. Now if I click this and drag it, no matter where I move my mouse, it'll always be on that path right there, which is big. Okay? Alright, so we're going to do the same thing for the other two. I'm going to use the slider mate, and you can see I just pick the center of that, and I'll zoom in here, pick the center of that, and then I always hit play. Is that what I want it to do? If that looks good, then I go, good. And now I'm always one to test an object to make sure it works. A little laggy. Sorry, internet's slow. So that one works. Okay, so I have one more to do. I'm going to pick the slider mate, and here again, I'm going to get the top of this. There's the top of it. And I'm going to get the middle of that. Now, again, I hit play and go, perfect. Got it. So now, looking at that, we're good. So now I can move this. Another way to do this, if this didn't quite match up, is I can see it looks to be a little off. We'll do planar, and I'll kind of show you on this what that looks like. So now we have this. Okay, like this one has a hole all the way through. If yours doesn't, that's perfectly fine. I'm just pulling off an old one that was done, and I just redid it. So in this one, we don't want it to slide. We don't want it to revolve. What I do want it to do is I want it to fasten together. And if you let this hang over, you can see hover over a part, select the mate connector. It kind of tells you what to do. So I'm going to click this. So what I want to do is it's going to say, let me see here, come on, right there, boom. I want that end to match with this end. Now if I do that and I go, all right, how does that look? Sorry. Okay, I turn it, I'm like, okay. Again, you can, if I hit play, nothing happens. Exactly, because I'm fastening it together. Let's say you had it flipped the wrong way, you could flip it around, but we want the whole thing in. This, it rotates that doesn't matter. So if I'm like, yep, it's good, green check mark, and one way to check it then is drag it. And what does it do? It stays together. So right there, that is going to complete your pegboard toy. Okay? And that will conclude this. The end part of it, what eventually I'll have you do after this is we'll make dimensions, but we'll do more of that on Monday. So if there's any questions, please email me, and I can definitely get back to you as soon as possible. All right. Have a great weekend.